With all due respect, Master, is he not the chosen one? Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force?
So the prophecy says.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Yankees Avenue live stream. It is January 21st. I know the date is wrong, but that is done intentionally, Chad, because I like to put it a day before in case you catch this not via live stream and you're catching it later on. It doesn't feel like old news. The good thing is that there isn't actually any news. But, I mean, Hall of Fame. We do definitely got to get into the Hall of Fame thing really quick. CC Sabathia was officially inducted, as was Ichiro Suzuki. We're going to celebrate CC for a minute in just a moment. But first things first, chat, how we doing, yo? Again, not too much of a crazy show today, but we are going to be kicking it, talking some of what's been going on with the Dodgers. Obviously, you know, they're signing everybody and their mother. And, yo, we'll get to it. We're going to talk about that, though, and how the Yankees can still feel the team capable of beating them in a 7-game series come the World Series. We're also going to talk Jasson Dominguez and his projections from Fangraphs for 2025, which, yo, I posted on Instagram the other day for those who follow, and if you don't, follow Yankees Avenue on Instagram and Facebook. All the up-to-the-minute news will always be posted there, by the way. So when something does break, knock on wood that it's soon. Because this has been like the most miserable month of baseball media ever, however you want to phrase it. It's been kind of a drag. So once news does eventually break, it'll be posted there right away on Instagram and Facebook. But anyways, I threw up the projections for Jasson Dominguez and what Fangraphs has him doing this coming season. And we're going to kind of do what we did last week with Volpe and dive into that and talk about whether we'd be satisfied with the numbers they project him to hit or disappointed, whatever. We'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let me, and also drop a like in the stream. Subscribe if you are new. Every Tuesday night in the offseason, we're streaming. And obviously, I'm wearing a freaking ski cap today, or a little, always crying while I'm streaming, bro. This is crazy. But yo, no, for those on the East Coast, which I'm assuming most of you guys probably are, it's fucking cold as ice outside. 18 degrees, yo. So we're bundled up. That's why, you know. Not that you guys give a shit. But anyways, let's talk about CC Sabathia. And really just want to shout him out really quick because everybody knows the deal. One of the best lefty starters of all time, 3,000 Ks, World Series champion, Cy Young. All the accolades will be discussed, rightfully so, a lot tonight and before the ceremony this summer. CC's a dog, no doubt about it. First round Hall of Fame worthy. I just want to talk about from my perspective. A lot of you guys know that, watch me, my first season ever as a Yankee fan. When I say first season, I'm talking like die hard. Not every game at that point, but just about. Like, my day was Yankees played at 7 o'clock, I'm watching. That was my first season doing so, was 2011. And, yo, with that, I want to just shout out CC that this right here that we're watching, these video highlights, and you guys all know, this is what a fucking ace is. And he was my introduction to what a true bulldog ace looked like. I mean, whenever I think of, I can take it back to 2018, or excuse me, after 2019, when like you knew the Yankees needed Cole, and I was like, they need to get that ace, they need to get that fucking dog. For the rest of my life, and in those conversations about Cole before we got him, the idea of an ace that's a dog, a true number one that's going to carry the staff and just be the fucking dude, automatically for the rest of my life, I'll associate that with CC Sabathia. The first ace I was ever aware of, and goes past just the Yankee career. I mean, that's obviously what we're showing here and we'll talk about, but whether what he did with the Brewers, pitching on 3 days rest with free agency looming. Dude's been a dog his entire career. This was not anything like that surprising. But we've probably never really talked too in-depth about CC. Not that we'll do a whole, you know, video essay on him right now. But I do want to say, yo, like, big part of my childhood, CC Sabathia. And now he's officially going to the Hall of Fame. So shout out to him. And also as well, to a, yes, lesser level, because he's not going to be going in with a Yankee hat on, but also shout out Ichiro Suzuki, who makes it as well. I think the highest percentage of votes to not be unanimous. I don't know, whatever the deal is, which that doesn't even make sense, because didn't that happen with Jeter? There's always one dickhead writer that, you know, wants to be that guy, and there was, in this case, with Ichiro, which is stupid, and people got to stop doing that. We're not going to talk about this now, but A-Rod, nowhere close, 37% in his fourth year on the ballot. I think we're going to do a show on A-Rod at some point because I have so many thoughts on it. And it's one of those things in life that I feel like I really do see clearly when it comes to my perception of the steroid era and A-Rod's career. We'll talk about that at a later date, but obviously no surprise that, you know, didn't make it this year, and he's not trending to make it really at all at this rate. No surprise. But all right, shout out CC, shout out Ichiro. Let's get into one of the main two topics I want to discuss today. And reminder, chat, do your thing in the live chat. I won't see it myself for the time being, but we will get to what you guys have to say at the very end, and that'll probably be in like 15, 20 minutes or so. But don't think I'm ignoring you. I will get to what you guys have to say at the very end. But one of two topics I want to discuss today is just covering a little bit of what's been going down with the Dodgers in their, crazy winter they've had. So last time we came on here was right after we found out the Yankees were out of the Sasaki sweepstakes. We kind of just, all right, took that what it was, move on. He, of course, ends up signing with the Dodgers, and not just that, they also signed Tanner Scott the other day to a 4-year, $70 million deal. And that was already, the headlines had been a thing already, with like, is this bad for baseball? The Dodgers doing too much. That was the case like almost going into last week before they signed Sasaki. And then they get Sasaki, they get Tanner Scott, and then today we find out, they add Kirby Yates on top of it. And y'all just say really quick, because the conversation honestly is getting like quite tiresome. And I'm at fault more than anybody because like I literally labeled today's Baseball Today, is this bad for baseball? But I will say, while the Dodgers aren't doing anything wrong, how could you blame them? It's not great. It's not great. And I don't need to delve into it from my end of things because, to be honest, I'd be in a much more like depressive state about this, relatively speaking, if I was a National League fan. For us, and this gets us into this conversation, no matter how much depth they add, no matter all these, gravy signings, if you will, like stuff they don't really need to do, which Kirby Yates was not needed. And a lot of these signings aren't needed, obviously. They just won the World Series. Their team was already incredibly good. It doesn't matter to us that, let's just go off the pitching rotation for the Dodgers, that they have Dustin May as their 6. They have Clayton Kershaw inevitably returning at some point. He's going to be their 7. They have all this depth. They have great players, don't get me wrong, and that's not what I'm getting at here. But just hear me out. When it comes to their starting rotation and their bullpen, overall, as a complete staff, yes, it is better than ours. But remember when we talked about it's a different team this year for the Yankees. We're going pitching-centric. Doesn't mean you can make the offense a shit show. It doesn't give an excuse just because you signed Fried and got Devin Williams and improved the pitching staff tremendously that you can run out DJ LeMahieu as your starting second baseman. But with that said, the Yankees pitching staff is in a spot, both rotation and bullpen. But let's mainly speak on the rotation because I'll map out a whole World Series right now. You go by top 4 starters. And in this case for the Dodgers, we'll include Shohei Ohtani, which be my fucking guess. The Yankees own Ohtani. And I do not look forward to, don't ever want to be weird about injuries or nothing, but I am curious to see how he returns post-Tommy John. And again, the Yankees always hit Ohtani. Forget that side point, I'm being a dick. What is their World Series rotation, Chad? What is it? Let's just say Ohtani 1, Yamamoto 2, Snell 3, Glasnow 4. Very effing good. Terrific. You know what else is worthy of those adjectives? Our starting rotation. Cole, Fried, Heel, Rodon. Is that as good as those 4? No, not necessarily. But I'll tell you right now, it's not that far off. Bullpen. Is the Dodgers bullpen better than ours? Yes, it is. But what I'm getting at here, and argue that I'm grasping at straws, sure, that's what we got to do. Our pitching staff is near a spot that I can say, make what's already great even better, and you can cancel out half the game for the Dodgers, and that's pitching. This shit can be a wash. Now, that's all well and good. The lineup still sucks. Fair point, and I don't even want to talk about it today. We talk about it every single week. The Yankees still need a second baseman. What else is there more to be said about it? I'm pretty nervous that it could be DJ going into the year. I'm almost, if I had a bet at this point, I would say, gun in my head, I'd probably go with that they go internal at second. I don't really want to talk about it today, chat, but not to give them the benefit of the doubt, but to, rationalize it for my sanity a little bit. Whether it's this offseason or by the trade deadline, the Yankees have to create a lineup, and it's really just adding one more infield bat and maybe a little bit of, something off the bench, but mainly that one infield bat. And because of where their pitching staff is at, which is terrific, and I think the bullpen can get even better. And I wouldn't be shocked if there is, if there's one more move this offseason, I wouldn't be shocked if it's, bringing back like a Tim Hill or getting some sort of lefty guy in here, and the bullpen gets even better. But point is, the pitching staff is very, very good. This is a World Series caliber pitching staff. So I know it doesn't work this way. You can't cancel out one of the Dodgers' greatest fucking advantage is their pitching staff, I know. But a lot of that, and this is not me trying to rain on their parade at all. This is a tremendous thing to have offensively or pitching. Their depth is insane. Come the World Series, though, 4 starters versus 4 starters, it's not that far off, really at all. What is far off is the lineup, and there's nothing else to be said about that. Because until it does, be addressed by Cashman and the Yankees, I'll just be sitting on here complaining and being a mope. And after all, it is January 21st. Again, they do have the trade deadline. And even with that said, it's still early in the offseason. Not early in the offseason, but you know what I'm saying. There's still time. You guys know how I feel. So that's how I'm looking at this whole thing. Rationalizing, yeah, maybe a little bit, but fairly so when we're talking an AL team that just has to beat them in a best-of-7 World Series. I'm telling you again, if I was an NL team, man, it'd be even more depressing, I guess. But it's baseball. Rose brought up a good stat today, which we all kind of know, but he put it with the actual numbers about World Series finisher or World Series winners over the last 15 or whatever year it was. And it's not that often that the number one payroll in baseball wins it all. Or if you go by the number one payroll each and every year, we've been up there a lot. Doesn't guarantee anything. With that said, it does feel like another level of what the Dodgers are doing, man. It's just gravy, shit they don't need that they're just saying, we want it, done. So, hey, what can I say, man? They're not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing wrong. It's allowed, whether it's deferrals or just going above the tax to the level they are. I'm jealous. So I have nothing negative to say about them at all. I just hope we can, field an offense that stands a chance. Let's talk a little Jasson Dominguez. And by the way, after this, we're also going to do the giveaway announcement for the winner from last week, and then we'll set up a new giveaway for this week as well. But let's talk some Jasson Dominguez entering 2025, and we've discussed him briefly, over the course of the last month or so, just about very underrated factor going into the new season to be excited about is we're about to finally see a full year of Jasson, and we've heard about him for quite some time. Obviously, you go back to 2019 when he was signed. He was the number 1 international draft prospect in all of baseball. Yankees signed him for a record $5.1 million, which for them might still be a record, to be honest. But gave him a bag, been in the system for a while. He's now 21 years of age. Obviously, came on the scene in 23, hit 4 homers in 8 games, was terrific. Houston, you guys all remember, went deep against Justin Verlander, first AB. Was awesome. I remember saying, we finally got our Astros killer, and he was terrific. And boy, oh boy, man, was this shit fucking needed at the time, because for those who remember, August 2023, and just that whole year was obviously putrid, so that was cool. But anyways, gets TJ, comes back this year. Of course, the defense is an issue, which we'll talk about, but, when you're looking at his career stats, or mostly just from his stats from last year, not worthy enough of a sample size to even care about to begin with, but obviously, scattered playing time this past season over 10 games in the big leagues. Who cares? So we can't go off anything with that. But obviously, the track record, the minor league statistics. Jasson has hit every consistent stretch of playing time he's had, whether it's coming back from TJ and what he did in AAA this past year, or if you want to say the brief week cup of coffee he had with us last year, or in 23, excuse me. Jasson has hit professionally. Really outside of he missed 2020 because of COVID. 2021, I don't think he was great in the minors, but he still made a futures game. Made a futures game the next year. He's had a nice minor league career. So what I'm getting at here is as long as Jasson is healthy, he should hit. And we'll go into the projections now. They don't really have that as much of a question, and not that would be as much of a the question is going to be, can he field the ball, which he's a professional athlete, and very small, couple instances that were just really bad with Jasson. Wait, I had a fresh VO. Where did my thing go? Sorry. Let me do that again. There we go. 2 or 3 really bad missed balls. Just fucking catch him, bro. That's all I can say. You're a professional outfielder, and he definitely will benefit, I believe, from going back to center field, which is his natural position, surrounded by both Judge back in right field and then Bellinger in left. That, I think, is the no-brainer move, and Jack Curry's even mentioned that on Yankees Hot Stove, that he thinks the Yankees will do that. That should help him. And he'll have a full run of, ideally, 160-plus games of playing time or whatever it is. I shouldn't say 160-plus. That sounded ridiculous. But it's very... We had 2 weeks to look at Jasson, and in that time, there was 2 or 3 drop balls. Looked really bad. I understand why the Yankees didn't play in the playoffs for that reason. It was a shit show, and Verdugo ended up being okay. Going to this year, though, yo, like, you are the center fielder. Can't be a fucking idiot while you're manning a deep ass, especially left center. That was an issue last year, too. He's playing left. Going from left to center actually may benefit him. Catch the fucking ball, and we're chilling. Because as long as he does that, yo, he's going to hit. And you see the projections right here. Keep in mind, projections typically low ball, baseline expectations. They'll never really predict like a breakout year or nothing like that. 20 homers, 20 stolen bases, 112 WRC plus. For a rookie projection, for Fangraphs to spit that out, yo, like, for a floor, that's kind of what this says. Ish. Again, baseline expectations. I don't want to say floor, but baseline expectations. I would sign up for this in a heartbeat, yo. Now, I could definitely see him exceeding this, but really what I need from Jasson this year is the obvious and catch the fucking ball. But two, by mid-May, going into the summer, yo, like, I want Jasson to have fully morphed into a legitimate big league threat offensively. Because you're going to have like the month or so where, and it could be to start out, or it could be in August when the dog days hit, whatever it may be, where like, maybe there'll be fuckers that'll be saying like, send Jasson down to AAA, like he's clearly cooked, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll turn it on. And overall, I think a stat line like this could suggest throughout a good portion of the year, good duration of the year, he's a Jasson Dominguez that we looked forward to for years now. And could even be batting third at some points or fifth, heart of the order type shit. I want that for at least half the year. At least half the year. So what I'm kind of getting at here is like, forgive a slump or two, and because of that slump or two, could drop the OPS down to 744. So if you're seeing that, again, these are just projections, who gives a shit? But let's just roll with it for a second. To me, this would be a very successful first full season for Jasson Dominguez. If he stays healthy, this doesn't tell us if he catches the ball or not, although I could look at defensive WAR projections. I'm good. I would take this. 2020 season, OPS around 744. Let's just assume, like, again, a month or so where he's not a month of without hitting, but he'll have those, you got to expect some rookie adjustments, some slumps, a couple weeks where he looks inadequate. But I like what I'm seeing here, Chad. And again, for projections that often lowball, 2.5 WAR out of a rookie, yo, like they're pretty high on him. And this is year one. This ain't me saying, yo, like, all right, this is what Jasson's career slash is going to be with the Yankees. That'd be tremendously disappointing. But post TJ, full years Yankee center fielder, yo, like, I would take this. But again, main thing here is there's not much to really delve into with it. It's just catch the mother effing ball. And I think he will. I think he will, Chad. I'm high on Jasson. I'm faithful. I'm feeling good, baby. Feeling good. But let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking, and also the comment section down below, which we can do the giveaway now, speaking of that. But just let me know if you're cool with those projections. Again, 2020 season, OPS just below 750. And just keep in mind that projections, they'll never go breakout. They'll usually just give a baseline expectation. So let me know if you'd be cool with that season out of Jasson. But yo, let's get into the giveaway. We'll do this really quick. First things first, shout out to the winner from last week, which, let's see here. Your name is at Yoni Watchastock 1666 or 1666. Uh-oh. When I saw the Golden News, when it happened, I really thought it was signified that they were going to get a legit bat at second and third base, and I still think / hope that they do need one more bat. Brush. And brush, of course, is our key word, which we'll give another one in just a moment, but I do want to respond to this. Me too, man. Me too. And I won't say I'm not holding out hope that another move is coming, but I am definitely starting to somewhat accept the reality that, like, we're going to begin the season with this. I will not accept it that this is our, like, lineup going into the playoffs or anything like that. No. But I definitely could see DJ starting at second base, which I'm with you, bro. Like, when I saw the Goldschmidt signing, it all happened so fast. Maybe it's just a matter of, like, momentum taking over or whatever it was. But, like, once we lost Soto, it was just a barrage of, like, I feel like, what, Fried, William. Like, every move we made, basically, all came within the span of, like, a week and a half, it seemed. And, of course, before they signed Paul Goldschmidt, they were heavily linked to Christian Walker, and it seemed like they might go that route. And then you pivot and go Goldschmidt, which I was totally for and still could be for, but you got to make the necessary moves around him to where he's not like, I mean, it's Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt as the two pieces that are replacing Juan Soto. I mean, that's part of it. That can't be all of it. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Like, when they signed Goldschmidt, I thought, all right, here we go. I thought we may be having like a second baseman by the next week, which doesn't matter. If they get him right now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, or even at the trade deadline, which I hate that I keep saying, bro, but I got to. Then we're all good. But for now, yo, like, I won't hide from it. Like, my optimism is definitely declining, which you guys are obviously, you can perceive that, I'm sure, on your own. But, yo, sorry, it's so small. Yoni Watchstock, 1666, DM me on Twitter or Instagram at Dan Allen Rourke, not Yankees Avenue, but at Dan Allen Rourke on Instagram and Twitter. It'll be in the description below. And just be like, yo, I won the giveaway. I'll recognize you right away. And then we'll get the shirt sent out to you pretty quickly. Usually I take a couple days, but it won't be long. So hit me up on that. And as for this week's giveaway, include the word, let's see here. Alarm. Include the word alarm in your comment. And remember, in the comment section, not the live chat, the actual comment section. So if you're in the live chat, go to the actual comments after the video, or unless you can do it now. Whatever your take is, you don't have to incorporate the word alarm in your take, or you could literally just write your take, say, Brian Cashman is pissing me off. Well, I said like Jimmy Norp. That's not like Jimmy Norp. Brian Cashman is pissing me off, period, alarm. That's how you enter the giveaway, and then we'll announce it next week. But yo, one more thing. Let's run through this really quick. The Yankees coaching staff for 2025 was announced today. Hardly anything has changed, and I do want to put a slight retraction out there, and this is my bad. I, for a long time, was under the impression that Luis Rojas was our infield coach when he's actually our outfield coach. So if anybody's taken that information and applied it to their own day-to-day conversations, I apologize. That's my bad. I should know that shit, and I'm quite embarrassed that I fucked that up because I was talking about it, yo. Like, listen, some of you guys on the watch party know I don't think his sends from third base were that egregious. Actually, in the playoffs, regular season, I was a little more pissed than I was in the playoffs. But the notable ones, I didn't have as much of an issue that other people did. But I did make a comment because I was under the impression he was the infield coach that, yo, like for that reason, get him out of that role or just relegate him to something else. Well, I was obviously speaking on my ass. He's been the outfield coach like the whole time. But anyways, he's staying put. Everything else stays the same except for Preston Claiborne, who teammate of CC Sabathia. Some of you guys may remember back in 2013, 2014. He's been promoted to assistant pitching coach, and he's been in the organization now for, I believe, a couple years on the pitching end of things. But nothing major there. Main thing, obviously, no significant changes at all. Just the addition of Preston Claiborne getting promoted. I know, Dan. Who gives a shit? Well, it's January 21st, bro, and there ain't nothing to talk about besides what you guys got to say, yo. So let's get into it, and then we'll probably dip out of here in a little bit. Obviously, shorter stream, but what are you gonna do? Let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. Chat, how the hell are we? Imagine my audio was just fucking shit in the bed this whole time, man. That would not be good. Let's see. We got Feo. We got Morgan in the chat. How we doing? And yeah, yo, if you guys could drop a like on the stream, that would help out quite a bit. And Morgan says, I have to give a special shout out to Preston Claiborne, formerly of my Tulane Green Wave. Word up. I always see you posting about, to be honest, Morgan, I'm not all that familiar with what a Tulane Green Wave is, but you know me. I hardly even know, like, National League Baseball, let alone. I think it's like a college thing. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But, yo, shout out Preston Claiborne. Let's see what's going on here, though. Let's see. They cannot give in defense for bat. We've learned that doesn't work. I'm trying to think, like, outside of Arise, like, it's just Polanco, really, that would be bat first, I guess. I mean, I heard more about Nico Horner from what most of you guys would consider a reliable source. But the Yankees are still interested in him. I would be for that. I was talking to Max today in BBD that right now I have the offseason, and you guys know this, right around a B. They were to go out and get Nico Horner, who would appeal to the defense first crowd. And he does hit a little bit, like a 270 hitter, 330-ish on base guy. Could probably hit leadoff. I would hit him leadoff. He would make the offseason an A for me. But there's not many guys left out there that I can say that about. I mean, Brandon Lau, word. Brendan Donovan, but don't really want to talk about him because it feels like a pipe dream. I almost want to start talking Carlos Correa again, yo. And, Feo, I saw your comment last week, and it's a very valid question for those who haven't heard me explain it before, but why would I be in on Correa and not Bregman? Because Bregman's not fucking cool, bro. Correa's fucking cool. Correa is a villain that actually plays the role of a villain, whereas Bregman... And listen, Feo, I may have even already owned to this, but I would fucking take Bregman, dude. I would. All my morals have gone out the window, yo. And you could argue that already was the case with me being down to accept Correa, but there are different levels of tool. One actually plays the tool role very well, and the other's insufferable. But at this point, bro, if you hit above league average, I don't care who you are, for the most part. Anyways, yeah, like Morgan said, secret word for the comment or for the giveaway goes in the comment section, not the live chat. if the Yankees give the Martian a true opportunity, meaning allow him to struggle at times, let him play, he will become a star. Yeah, and I think they definitely will, boxing. They definitely will. And it's a valid concern to bring up, like we've seen in the past with a lot of the prospects. They don't get what many would consider to be the proper run. Somewhat overblown, but Clint Frazier is one that stands out. Like, he was named the starting left fielder going into 21, and I think it was game 4 that his playing time started to become scattered already. And not that that's why Clint Frazier was shit that year. That's on him. You do what you do with Volpe, and because he's a top prospect, he's number 14 in all of baseball. I forgot to mention that. Dominguez on Baseball Pipeline. He's going to get some run. He's going to get some run, no doubt. Unless he's like brutal defensively, which is just unacceptable and cannot happen regardless. But again, I don't really have much concern with that. You're a big league ball player. Catch the fucking ball. No doubt Dominguez went closer to 270 with 800 OPS. Possibly, yeah, but again, the projections won't predict breakout. But that's not like an unreasonable breakout ask of you. Boxing also said, in any event, I'm excited about the upcoming Yankee season. I strongly believe that the Martian is going to make significant contributions to the team. I'm getting pumped for the season too, bro. I am myself. And whether you want to talk about the Martian or other facets of the lineup, like, don't get it twisted when I say, yo, like, this lineup is incomplete. This lineup needs a second baseman bad. There's so many, like, again, facets and areas of this team that, and individual players that I look forward to a full season of. I mean, Paul Goldschmidt probably towards the lower tier, but I do have significant reason to believe in the bounce back, whether it's the second half success he had, the fact that he rakes against lefties, period, which we definitely could have used last year. The hard hit rate, whatever that is, but that's lower tier type thing. Third-year progression of Anthony Volpe, hopefully not batting leadoff, but that's something I'm pumped about. Judge, I'm a fucking fraud. I said after the World Series, he could hit 70 homers in 25. I would not give a shit until the World Series. Take that back. I am very excited for what I think is going to be another automatic 60, and I doubt we'll actually come to the conversation of, like, can he catch Bonds, but 70 I think will be a legitimate possibility this year, and I'm stoked about that. Giancarlo Stanton, kind of know what you're going to get, although I'm curious to see how they play him, to be honest, because I think even if there's not an IL stint, which you could argue is inevitable, which I would say, God bless him, take your month, bro, and you're chilling, I could see them really, really, like, letting Stanton coast with, like, let's say there's 6 games in a week. He plays 4 out of the 6, like, lockdown. That's the case. Stanton's playing 4 out of 6 games. And come the end of the season, finishes around, like, 130 on the year total regardless. And the reason I bring this up is because, obviously, we have first base taken care of with Goldschmidt, but Ben Rice should see a lot of time. With the way the lineup is right now, given current construction, whether it's some platoon against righties with Goldschmidt always playing against lefties, or the days you have Stanton off, I would have at least one of those days, because Judge will get his DH day, and realistically speaking, they'll want to give, if they were to do, say, 6 games a week, Stanton DH is 4, Judge will most likely get those 2 DH days. But what I'm getting here is more so trying to find a lane for get Ben Rice playing time. And that could also come with a platoon with Goldschmidt, depending on how he hits righties. But anyways, Jazz. Can't wait for a full season of Jazz. I'm not going to predict like 40-40 thing, but like it's reasonable to assume he might be capable of hitting 30 homers as a Yankee. That's what he was pacing for last year. If you extrapolate what he did power-wise in his Yankee stint over a full season, I think it was like 35 homer pace he was on. And I'm looking forward to see how he is at third base after a full offseason of work. And then, yeah, Jasson Dominguez. So there's a lot of things that I look forward to with this lineup that have very high upside. And even something like the floor. Like, there's, to me, I don't want to mention a floor with Jazz because that feels like a bad omen. He could be ass. I don't know. But like, I think at the very least, like, Jazz is going to be a 750 OPS with 20 homers, 30-plus steals. Austin Wells, what is his second year going to look like? Not exactly sure. You like to think, there's a continuous uptick, and he doesn't have that year-end slump that he had that kind of tarnishes numbers a little bit. But at the very least, like, Austin Wells is going to be a competent, good hitter. Anthony Volpe. Looking forward to his third-year progression. But I'm talking about a guy that's leading off right now that has a career OPS in the mid-600s. And Paul Goldschmidt, again, like, I'm high on his bounce back. There is a lot of hope in this lineup is what I'm getting at here. Like, the breakout of Jasson Dominguez. What are we getting out of second base? Who the F knows? Like, so all that stuff I'm looking forward to, yo. Like, it's also something that is a concern. Like, a lot does have to go right. And we haven't even really talked about the idea of, like, if, God forbid, a fucking meteor came out of the earth or came down to the earth and hit Judge and he goes on the IL. My audio good? So, I mean, When I talk about that, bro, it actually just gets me fucking upset, dude. I don't want to talk about the lineup anymore, chat. I don't want to talk about the lineup anymore. You heard? Is Judge the Lamar Jackson of MLB? You know, and I actually get fucking pissed about Game 5 and Judge's dropped catch fail for that separate reason itself. Judge was fucking back, bro. Judge was back, man. If that series went back to LA and it's in, large part his fault because he didn't hit early on and obviously, the drop ball, which was still a 5-0 game when he did drop it, mind you. But he had the RBI double in Game 4 the night before. Had the 2-run shot off Flaherty, which I was talking to Beeps today, or Max about it today. Yo, I watched that Flaherty pitch that he threw Judge. Like, what were you thinking, bro? Even if you considered him dormant at the time, what are you throwing Judge that pitch for? Anyways, later in the game, people want to talk about this, which is fine. They shouldn't. I get it. Judge was a tying run at second base with 1 out in the 8th inning. He had a leadoff double down the line or 1-out double down the line. So he was hitting. That shit gets back to LA, bro. Like, we have Aaron Judge. So if you weren't already, upset about that, that's another reason. Which I know you already were. But whatever, I'm over that shit. We'll talk about Judge, though. We're going to do his own little preview show, which will be quite simple. Because while I said I'm looking forward to, the 70-homer chase, which I said I wouldn't care about after we lost the World Series last year, that was a lie. I am looking forward to it. But with that said, if he does hit fucking 80 home runs and they don't win in the end, especially if it comes via a dud postseason performance, then, we're back to where we are now ×2. So, yeah. Let's see here, though. Why did I just click Max Fried? When are they announcing Flaherty to the Dodgers, by the way? Yeah, word. Where is Flaherty going to go? Maybe it would be the Dodgers. Dan, would you be up for Hassan King? Yeah, I would. Which, again, at this point, I really would take anybody. But, yeah, I mean, I'm down for Nico Horner, so I might as well be down for Hassan Kim, too. Really just any legitimate established big leaguer that's not DJ LeMahieu. But with that said, if they got Hassan Kim, let's say, or even Nico Horner, but let's just stick on Kim. We've kind of opened the window of improving for the World Series, through the deadline is what we've been talking about. They do technically have to the deadline. If you get Hassan Kim, is that what fills up the lineup for the rest of the year? Or are you saying, all right, we can get him, and then there's a possibility that we still upgrade the lineup and Kim could possibly become a bench bat? I wouldn't want to be married to Hassan Kim. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look at the lineup anymore. What happened to Yorbit Vivas? I mean, he's not really an option these days. I mean, it was a thought last year that he could be the replacement for Glaber. He didn't. He was injured for a good portion of the year last season, but nothing all that crazy in AAA. I'm sure, if things do stand where they currently at, where it's an internal battle, they'll say he's part of the job. But whether it's Waldo, whoever it is, the job will be DJ's on opening day, and at least for a month. But they'll say it's a competition. Poor Peraza. Actually, no, not really, because he had a chance to win the job in 23. So, let's see here. Yo, chat, I fucking love you guys, by the way. Appreciate you guys being in here on this late January stream. We'll be same deal going forward. We're not getting out of here just yet, by the way, but we'll be back next week. And then, do you want to talk spring training at some point? Probably not just yet, because I don't have my entire plan ironed out. We won't be doing watch parties every game. I really, honestly, more than 4 or 5 in spring training, but I guess it's my way of announcing. We will be doing some. The first game, hell yes. I was thinking last night, bro, the taste of a hot dog. I'll get my hot dog cooking machine back, and we'll be kicking a first spring training game or 2, and then yeah. So whatever. We'll be talking regular season plans relatively soon. We're obviously still ways a bit away, but not really. It is coming up soon. So let's see. Could the Yankees trade for Nolan Gorman or Julian? Julian, that's on the Twins, right? Or is it Julian? I but Willie Castro. I don't remember how his defense is. He's somebody even at this rate. Again, I'm bargain binning here right now, yo. And speaking of that, let's forget this. Speaking of bargain binning, I was off Hal's back for a bit now, because I usually focus most of my criticism towards Cashman. In the end, sure, would I want to spend more? Yes, but Brian Cashman is given a $300 million payroll. Most GMs, I think, would be down to work with that. And not that Cashman never complains. He just would think he would by some of the holes in the roster at times. The Dodgers going so above and beyond, man. They're at 380 now, and we're right around 300, just under the Steve Cohen tax, which is 301. Now, reminder, this was new information to me as well. At least you guys very well could have known this. I did not, and it's a big factor. Beeps told me, and I've told you this already, but the penalties that the Yankees are to suffer with the luxury tax when it comes to draft pick capital or international bonus money, they've already suffered those consequences by going over that initial tier. So reminder how it works is there's, 4 tiers. $241 million is the first luxury tax threshold that you can't go over, which they're obviously already way over. And then it's 261, 281, and then 301. They're right below that final tier, the Steve Cohen tier of 301. The only consequence of going over that is strictly money. So I would often offend listen, it's more than just not want to spend an extra whatever on the dollar. It's you lose draft picks, you lose more. Like, there are consequences to it. But at this point, there's not for the Yankees. It's just a matter of, do they want to spend an extra? Right now they're doing $1.80 on the dollar. If they go above 301, it become $2.10 on the dollar. I feel like I'm always messing up the way I say that, but I think you guys know what I mean. Between the Dodgers going so far above and beyond, and the fact that it just costs you a little bit extra money, which I don't give a crap, bro. Like, we know you have. We know you have, dude. Even if we're coming off of the 2023 season, bro, I know you have. And you just came off a season that you went to the World Series. I say this only if there's a player, and for all I know, there isn't. But let's just say, Carlos Correa, who I keep bringing up, for example, or anybody. Say the Yankees really want Nolan Arenado. Like, it's in the conversation room, at the table, bro. Like, Brian Cashman's like, all right, we're Nolan Arenado's the guy. Like, we like him. We want to do this. And the reason they don't do that is because of the luxury tax. Like, that shit cannot happen. That cannot happen, bro. I'm not saying, fuck it, go sign, Bregman if you really don't want him, but, just cuz. No. I'm not asking you to be an idiot, but, that would be pathetic if there's a player the Yankees want and they're refusing to go out and go get him because they don't want to go over 301, or it's all correlated, but until Stroman gets traded and his $18 million salary. So that was another thought I had in the whole thing. We got to get rid of DJ. He'll get the chance, but or he'll get the chance to technically win a job, but I do anticipate they'll probably DFA him because they do that. They just usually wait until they know they don't have anything left, whether it be Hicks or A-Rod. Although Jacoby they did right around this time. Love you guys, yo. Yeah, no need to spam. Baseball's going to be so exciting this year. Not many people feel that way, bro. Not that many people feel that way. At least coming off the low with what the Dodgers are doing, which definitely upsets me too, yo. I can kind of rationalize it with, we don't got to worry about them until October. But in the end, it really is all the same shit. Straight Stroman and Hamilton's the A's. Yeah. Get a lefty reliever. They will. That's a minute problem. They'll take care of that. And that's even a thing, yo, with the bullpen. That can be addressed in spring training even. It could be a couple guys that we're not all that familiar with. They're just battle out. I trust I always say this. I trust the Yankees with the bullpen. I don't even care about that, bro. Because I know they'll take care of it, whether it be re-sign Tim Hill or they'll figure it out. This, though, is just it's annoying because it could be fine. It's the lineup has the foundation of this could be good. And for all I know, yo, even if DJ's ass, we mentioned the breakout can't, if Jason's great, if Goldschmidt bounced back, if Volpe somehow doesn't feel the pressure of leadoff and is able to do his thing and he produces in his third year, we could be fine. But again, there's a lot of ifs, there's a lot of hopes, and with a team coming off the World Series, losing Juan Soto that got off the offseason in terms of post-losing Soto, they bounced back very nicely. It almost feels like looking at this lineup, bro, all the positive thoughts I had, anything sort of momentum we had, and forget momentum, bro, just talking about good moves, a good offseason after a detrimental loss in Soto, it's fading a little bit, bro, because I look at this lineup and it just kind of it leaves a sour taste into the Fried signing, getting Devin Williams, and I was hyped about Bellinger, the rest, yo, there's a lot of good things about what we've done this winter. A lot. Again, it's there. It's done. It needs to be finished, bro. I keep coming back to the word. So I said on Instagram the other day when I asked you guys to grade the Yankees offseason so far. It feels incomplete. I can't call it bad. Right now, it's technically a B offseason. Which this window is through the deadline, yo. So it can't really grade this paper until the deadline is over. And this won't happen. But let's just say, this is the general team in terms of main components. Come the deadline. And we should grade the overall window of day after the World Series through July 31st, 2025. Overall grade on improving the team. I don't even know if I'd be able to give them a C, to be honest. Obviously, that depends on how the situation plays out, but I'm being a broken record now. Let me see what's going on here. Storso got you blocked in. Yeah, he unblocked me on Twitter last year. We should do kind of a blanket unblock of everybody. But Instagram, I've been blocked on Instagram for like the longest time. Lineup isn't terrible. You just need to get over. So no, the lineup is not terrible, Leapy man. It's again, there's hope here. But like, think about the way we're talking about the lineup and the way I kind of have to like present everything between, again, the Dominguez breakout or like Goldschmidt bouncing back, Volpe praying to God he can do something out of leadoff, and that's something against Volpe. You guys know how I feel. This is not how I should have to discuss a team coming off the World Series and a team that is, as Brian Cashman said, no retreat, no surrender. Like no retreat, no surrender, bro. You're batting DJ LeMahieu in your opening day lineup in 2025, bro. Like that's not no retreat, no surrender. So like, trust me, I get it. Like could be way worse, bro. Like could be a fan of another team and be in a different situation. But like, I don't want to say I'm not asking to be the Dodgers. I should have no problem asking to be the Dodgers. We're the New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? So like, again, if I just didn't see DJ LeMahieu batting ninth, coming off of what we just witnessed in Game 5 last year, losing Soto, and the start of an offseason, the majority of an offseason that suggests, and we know they're going all in, but again, no retreat, no surrender, bro. You're batting DJ ninth in your opening day lineup. Like DJ LeMahieu is in your opening day lineup. Like, I get what you're saying, bro. The lineup is by no means terrible. Like, there's a lot of it I'm excited about, but like, it's like fucking baking a really good ass cake, man, with like the top of the line ingredients or ingredients you feel excited about, but like, you ain't putting eggs in the fucking thing. And what are you getting? What kind of cake are you getting with no eggs? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of vibe. Hey, what up, 55? Love from Los Angeles. Word up, bro. Hey, I hope you're doing all right with the fires and everything. I'm not sure, obviously, where you are. But I think it's kind of settled down by now. But Dan's reaction to this Yankees offseason could qualify as around at Six Flags. Yeah, right. Hey, yo, I'm open to, or I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I acknowledge it, bro. Like, I know, like, I'm definitely riding away. But, yo, like, in some fairness, and we've talked about it, like, if, for argument's sake, like, you were to tell me, like, signing Paul Goldschmidt would be the last move, my tune when discussing that signing a few weeks ago or a month ago or whatever it was would have been totally different. So maybe it's like a little bit of false hope, which totally fine having that. Like, there's no reason to, like, again, even see the way I'm acting now. Like, if I'm accepting, per se, that this is the offseason, I've already created the solution that, oh, well, we have the trade deadline. Even though I'm not happy about that, like, trust me, I've never, like, given up or nothing. I'm never going to be like, oh, this isn't a permanent L, because nothing's ever really a permanent L unless you fucking die. But just for right now, in this very moment, January 21st, I will walk back that the Yankees are already better than last year, which I put on the title of a video about a month ago. You get a second baseman that's not DJ LeMahieu, done. I'll make that the title of every single video, and I'll truly fucking believe it, because, again, the pitching staff is incredible. Incredible. And that goes a long way. But, yo, I think it's going to be about it for me tonight, yo. Appreciate everything you guys are saying. A lot of good thoughts in there. Reminder, if you could drop a like in the stream, that does help out a lot, whether you're watching live or later on. Reminder, giveaway. You. Yummy Watch Stock 1666. DM me on Twitter at Dan Unwork or on Instagram. If you want to enter this week's giveaway, just give me your thoughts and put the word alarm in it, not in the actual, it doesn't have to be in the actual comment. Remember, at the very end, you can just drop the word, so don't stress too much about, like, trying to be Dr. Seuss or nothing. But, yo, love you guys so much. Shout out CC again. And, I'm being kind of negative. Like, shout out the fucking Yankees. Shout out the Yankees. And I'm talking about the Yankees that are on the team. Guys that I fucking love. I won't talk about Fried all that much yet. I haven't met you yet, pal. But I haven't met any of these guys, but you know what I mean. Cole, you're a fucking ace. We talk about CC being an ace, yo. Like, you're one of the only dudes up there that I associate with that similar bulldog. You're a fucking dog, and you wanted to be here. You love being a Yankee. Luis Heel posts all the time about how he loves being a Yankee. Carlos Rodon, I don't got to give an individual little shout out to each every guy here, but the team itself, I fucking love, dude. I love. Homegrown catcher in Austin Wells, that's a major W, yo. Goldschmidt, same deal as Fried. We'll talk in March, but Jazz loves being here. Awesome. Love that shit, man. Volpe, homegrown shortstop, bro. Year 3 coming up. Let's fucking go. Postseason, you were a dog. Belly, feel like you've been here for a while. Look forward to that. Jason, homegrown guy. Like, Judge, you're my fucking captain. I would take a bullet for you. Stanton, coldest man I've ever fucking watched play baseball. Like, this team is very likable. Like, it's all right there for me, yo. It's all right there. I just need a fucking second baseman, chat. So you gonna fucking get me one? Are you gonna get me a fucking second baseman, chat? No? I'm leaving, chat. I love you all. I have to go to the gym and do fucking legs. I'm going to love my life. Bye-bye.